All right, here we go. It's the launch of my new show called Charles Butler's Take. And
you see that black boy over there running scared, his old man in a bottle. He done quit his 9 to 5, he drank full time, and now he's living in a bottle. See that black boy over there running scared, his old man got a problem, and it's a bad one. He ain't done pawned off damn near everything. His old woman waiting to bring for a bottle. And don't you think it's a crime when time after time after time people in a bottle, there's people living in a bottle.
okay, folks, welcome to my new show
Listen to me.
called Charles Butler's Take, and we're firing things up as usual. I don't take any prisoners, and always have a good time trying to inform you about what's really going on in America. What's really going on in America. Let's talk about the Chicago teacher strike. I call it the strike of the high-paid babysitters. Now, why do I call Chicago teachers high-paid babysitters? Because if you listen to the media, and let's do that, and read between the lines, folks are constantly talking about, well, what about the children? I heard a lady say yesterday, well, how will the children eat? They won't have breakfast or lunch. Excuse me, folks, but last time I checked, it's about parents providing breakfast and lunch for their children. That's what's happened in America, especially in the black and brown communities. Not so much brown communities, because those mothers understand and get up and fix their children food. A lot of black mothers, and I'm not saying all, because there are those of you out there who jump to all these extraneous conclusions, which just end up ticking me off. But you know who I'm talking about. We see these children each and every day walking to school dirty, sloven, unwashed, unkept. No one's washed their clothes, and just to make a long story short, those are the kids I'm talking about. Those are the kids whose parents are using the schools as a babysitting facility instead of a learning facility. Now, do we blame that on Republicans? Some people do. Do we ever blame Democrats for people not assuming their personal responsibility? What do I mean by assuming your personal responsibility? I mean feeding your child, clothing your child, doing homework with your child, not having children that you cannot afford, and then we have to have the government pay for these children. It's unconscionable that the government has put in place a system of welfare where these women, these fatherless children, and these women are having babies out of wedlock without any shame. I mean, and oh girl, my little 13-year-old, she pregnant, we got to throw a shower for her. I mean, and I'm not far from stretching here, folks, because if you go to any high school, you'll notice that, we're talking about teenage pregnancy. That's not on the agenda. But the reality is teenage pregnancy is the bane of what's going on in black America. And it's going to continue to be a noose around the neck and a anchor around the neck of a lot of folks, especially black folks and poor folks. It's not the government's responsibility to take care of these children. It's not the government's responsibility to provide affordable housing. It's not. Sorry. So for those of you who are starting to get a little bent out of shape, remember, you're listening to the Charles Butler Show. And I don't pull any punches. But these high-paid babysitters, they've gone out on strike. And from what I understand, they got a 16% raise over 4 years. Um, and in these economic times, given the fact that the average teacher, I think, is making 70 something thousand dollars a year, while the starting wage for these teachers is 46 grand. That's a pretty doggone good job. I don't think they should be paid that kind of money given the product that they turn out. And I'm not talking about college dropouts or high school dropouts, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of factors that go into that. To that number. What I'm talking about are the children that stay in school. They're still ranked at the bottom of the totem pole when we look at Chicago's public school system on a national basis. I love it. Teacher evaluations, charter schools. These folks these folks really need to get a grip. I don't think we should be paying these teachers anymore for babysitting our children. And you ask me why? Because if people want their children babysat, they should send them to a babysitter, not to a Chicago public school. And I don't know if many of you have been in these schools, but they're like Animal House. I mean, total chaos. There are no rules. Typical liberal kind of, not divisiveness, but a liberal take. And you have to say, well, Charles, how can you say that? Well, there are no rules. The children are running the school, so the animals are running the house. The animals are running the house. I hear teachers, in fact, I know there was a policy in place a few years ago when I was talking to the former Chicago Teachers Union president, where she talked about when you try to get rid of a problem child, it takes over 90 days to do so. And she said during that time, your car would be scratched, it would be keyed, your tires would be flattened, all kinds of stuff. So, I look at this and I go, something has to give. Something has to give. You can't continue to, bite the hand that feeds you. To tell the truth, the city cannot afford this pay hike that folks are getting. And they can't afford to have these teachers turning out this inferior product. Well, we have supposed to have 350,000 students. I don't know if that's true or not. And but I will say this. We need to send a message to Chicago teachers that if you won't teach, we'll get someone else in here who will. These people have fallen down on the job at every step of the way. It's just amazing to me that they're enjoying this stream of support. You have to ask yourself why and how. Here we go with parents and students supporting the teachers. I just don't think they should. I just don't think they should. And my reasons are very simple. The CPS is not doing a good job with the children. That's the bottom line. They're just not doing a good job with the children. You can call in and voice your opinion after this short break The number is 312 I'm sorry, 312-361-0585. 312-361-0585. And we will be back shortly.
Showing up in the bottom. Give another good example. You see that jet in a wrinkle suit there, nothing damn near blown his to the bottom.
Kim Moline, co-owner of the Wingstop restaurants in Lansing and South Holland.
Hey, Tom, I've got to be honest. Although I was unhappy with our old payroll company, I was pretty apprehensive about transitioning to a new one. When it comes to payroll, delays and lost data are really unacceptable. But I'm happy to say your staff really made it easy for us, and the transition couldn't have been smoother. And now, as we consider taking advantage of some of the other services you offer, well, let's just say the next time we won't feel so shaken.
Thanks, Kim. Just call me at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Or check us out at the web, precisionpayroll.com. That's precisionpayroll.com.
Okay. PrecisionPayroll.com.
And so I come to you, my love, my heart above my head. Though I see the danger there, if there's a chance for me,
well, that's what I think is very appropriate for what we're doing with the Chicago school system. Fools are rushing in where they should not be, because at the end of the day, we need our teachers to get in those classrooms and start teaching, not try to tell us that they need shorter days and more money, and they don't need to be evaluated and things like that. So it all becomes pretty interesting. I think that sooner or later, we're going to have to take on some serious issues. And you might want to ask, well, what are those issues? I think those issues are the issues of paying these teachers less money for the job they're doing, and having the public school compete with the private school, a private school system. So it's all good. I kind of sit here and look at things from time to time, and you have to wonder, what the heck is going on? I mean, you have school, you have people out in the street, teachers out in the street protesting. You have a president that's saying, "Hey, I'm with you, teachers. Keep on striking. We're with you." And you have parents who are saying, "Hey, guess what? We need our children back in school." And I should say some parents are saying that. And some parents are like, "Hey, this is the second day." Young mom said this is the second day of this teacher strike, and these teachers need to be let go. They need to be let go. They've gotten, they got a lot of, have a lot of things on the ball, and they still refuse to accept what amounts to a good deal for most people. So what's at stake here? Our children's education. That has always been the play. And it's amazing to me that they don't get it. It's the children. It's always been about the children. But Chicago teachers, I remember them calling in saying, I was talking to, doing a show at WVON. Folks were saying, hey, guess what? I don't really understand what our teachers are doing. And when I started talking about, I asked the teacher if she taught in Ebonics. And she was going, well, no. I said, well, that's what CPS is talking about. They teach in Ebonics. That's the only way some of these children can understand what they're trying to say. It's amazing, people. Truly amazing what's going on. Truly amazing. Well, as we come up to 7:45, I guess we will go to a short commercial, and we'll be right back. So hang in there with me as we, when we come back, we'll have a guest on, just called in.
Into Champion News Talk Radio on AM 560 WIND. Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. Jack Roser and guests will cover the hottest issues of the day with truth, integrity, and without political correctness. You can also check out championnews.net for the latest political news and information, such as Illinois teachers and administrators' salaries causing your taxes to skyrocket. That's Champion News Talk Radio, 8 a.m. Sunday mornings on AM 560 WIND and championnews.net.
07. That's 630-242-1507. Or check us out at the web at precisionpayroll.com. That's precisionpayroll.com.
They say that smell is one of the most powerful senses.
Into Champion News Talk Radio on AM 560 WIND. Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. Jack Roser and guests will cover the hottest issues of the day with truth, integrity, and without political correctness. You can also check out championnews.net for the latest political news and information, such as Illinois teachers and administrators' salaries causing your taxes to skyrocket. That's Champion News Talk Radio, 8 a.m. Sunday mornings on AM 560 WIND and championnews.net.
07.
Okay, looks like looks like Best Dental got erased, but that's okay. We'll continue. There's the glitches that happen when you have that first show. So we'll just keep rolling right along, talking about the teacher strike right now. I think we're going to come back, talk a little bit about what's going on with the president and Netanyahu. Let's take this call. Hello, caller. This is Charles Butler, The Take. How are you? Hello? Hello? Hey, how are you? Hello? Okay, the call ended. We're trying to, pull this together here. Let's see what happens. We'll take another call. But yeah, the teachers have gone out on strike. High-priced babysitters. They're not teaching. 58 or 50% of children are dropping out. These children are scoring in the lower percentiles in most things. You have to ask yourself, well, why is that? Why is that? I think what we'll do, we'll try to get this call again. Hello, caller. How are you? Hi. How are you? Can you hear me? Can't hear me. Curtis? Shoot. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to halt this call.